We're live. Welcome to West Wednesday, number 654. Justice for Tyrone West, accountability for Tyrone West, and all victims of police brutality. Tawanda, it's all you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so as we play the video that we often play every time, we're going to play that video and we will be back to you guys momentarily. And tonight we do not have any special guests. I was going to have a special guest tonight, but because we're having our first kickoff this weekend, I would love to promote that. And plus, I had to start late because I had a teachers meeting to go to and attend, and that's why we started West Wednesday late. But you never know. But for no reason, we will never ever miss a West Wednesday. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. And by now we would have been finished. So thank you for tuning in, and apologize that we are actually starting off a little later than what we said. But again, thank you for your time. And please stay tuned for the video that we play every week when we're online. Mic check.
Mic check.
Can't stop, won't stop, till killer cops are in cell blocks. Can't stop.
The following video portrays an incident of assault and violence at the hands of police. Viewer discretion is advised.
I suggest you back the fuck up.
No,
This is Baltimore City Police Officer Jorge Bernardes Ruiz. In a video shot in 2016, Ruiz is seen with his knee on the back of an unknown man with a gun pointed at the man's head. His message was a clear one. Concerned onlookers, adhere to my dictates or else. Here, we can hear Ruiz saying to Baltimore residents,
I suggest you back the fuck up.
It is documented that Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardes Ruiz is a repeat violent offender, even without access to all complaints against Ruiz, undisclosed by BPD Internal Affairs records. 6 cases involving Ruiz are known. This video will briefly highlight 6 total cases beginning in July of 2013. Case 1, Abdul Salam, July 1st, 2013. Here Salam is seen victoriously smiling in celebration after the jury found Ruiz and 2 other cops liable for brutality against him. However, because the trial was civil, not criminal, Ruiz was not fired and he did not go to jail.
Police profiled me. They followed me in the back of my house, harassing me. Police proceeded to violently and hostilely approach my van with me and my son in it. As I announced, this was my home, guns drawn. Once they reached my vehicle, they violently pulled me out, ramshacked my vehicle with my 3-year-old son strapped in his car seat, threw me against the gate, slammed me repeatedly. Picked me up by my feet, and while I'm upside down, they proceeded to drop me on my head, hog-tie me, and immediately when I fell on my head, Ruiz, in a wrestling type of action, and kind of hit his knee against my neck. I was arrested. I had no idea what I was being arrested for. My son is scarred to this day. He remembers the incident as it happened yesterday. When he talks about it, he always refers to Daddy being on the floor with police yesterday.
Case 2, Darrell Harris, profiled, as seen in this video, July 17th, 2013.
Yeah, Sid, what's wrong with it? Improper way with it. There's no such thing as an improper way.
You gonna tell me my job, bro?
I know the law.
Are you gonna tell me the law?
I know the law.
You gonna tell me the law?
I know the law. What's the problem? You giving me a ticket? You need my license registration?
Yeah, let me get it up.
Profile, y'all use the seatbelt as a reason. Profile.
So do me a favor, take out your keys.
Yeah, you can record. For what? Nah. I don't feel safe right now. Do you want me to step out the car? Do you want me to step out the car? I'll step out the car. Call the police, man. What do you call a supervisor? I'm about to do shit. This is getting uploaded to the internet right now. Yeah?
And we are two law-abiding citizens that we are getting targeted, and I don't know why.
Just 24 hours later, Bernardes Ruiz played a leading role in the police killing of unarmed Tyrone West. Case number 3, the murder of Tyrone West, July 18th, 2013.
My brother Tyrone West was brutally murdered on July the 18th, 2013.
In both of these cases, when you look at the pleadings and the harsh language of these officers that have been quoted to me by reliable witnesses, the N-word.
And Killer Ruiz and Killer Chapman and the rest of those 11 and 15 killers, including David Lewis, took something from my family that they could never give us again. And that was my brother Tyrone West, one unarmed man who was brutally murdered, beat to death in broad daylight.
Tawana, are you back?
Okay, we're back on. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Yes. So thank you, Hillary. And thank you guys for tuning in. And again, we're not gonna be real long tonight, but I definitely appreciate your time. And every time I watch that awful video, it just saddens me and it lets me know how important our work is and how it's needed. You know, and it's just trying to, you know, fix something that definitely needs to be fixed. And like nobody deserves to be brutally you know, executed or anything. And to do this type of work that you know, that we just do from the heart and not ask for anything. And just, you know, as you know, people, I know people don't celebrate, like everybody don't celebrate holidays and whatnot, but for the ones that do celebrate things, I always like to celebrate love, you know, and just the family time. It's not even really about the holidays. It's just about love and things like that. And we have an event coming up this Saturday. We have an event coming up this Saturday, and we still need some vendors. Like literally. We still need some vendors. And this is our first time doing something like this. So, but I'm just real excited because everything is going to be about love, you know, and whatever you love doing. So even if your theme doesn't like per se go like, you could be like an artist and whatnot. We want that, you know, we need that. And we just asked them, we're gonna have like a big sale, we're gonna have some goodies, we're gonna have solid auction for some lovely baskets, like come out. And then more so important, why I want to do it. I want to do it in the name of love, because lots of time you do this work and then we forget about how important it is that we spend time with each other and do something outside of the scope of the usual. And this, like I said, we always boots on the ground, fighting for accountability. And I just felt like right now we're in a time where we just need to like really show love, because every time we're in sad times, and it just makes me sad just thinking of it. You know, like there's everything that's happening all over the world. Like every day you turn on the TV set, you're hearing sad and depressing stuff over and over. How much can like one person take? Especially like if your mental space is not there. Hey, that's really, it's heartbreaking. You know, it's easier to hate, but it's really hard to love, you know? And right now I feel like this event could be the kickoff of many more. And the reason why we're doing it is, again, it's like I said, necessary. And right now we're trying to put together something and focus on like showing my brother artwork, and not just my brother's artwork, but highlighting different people artwork, like that's dealing with like pain and trauma, that's been traumatized in our community by police brutality. And I'm just not going to like ruin it and all that about the upcoming stuff, but we need these funds. And that's all I'm saying. Like, if whatever you can bring out, just come and just come in the name of love. And even if you don't have nothing, just still come out. Like, we're not going to turn nobody down there because we know it's tight time for everybody, but we're just trying to do this in the name of love. And then, like, again, but mainly too, for the fact that we do want donations, and whatever you give is not too little. So whatever you can give, whatever you can do, please do it. Please do it. And like I said, just come out. We're going to have a nice time, and we're going to be there, and we're going to have vendors there, and we also going to have like goodies. Like, what more can you ask for on a Saturday? And we're not going to keep you long. You know, we're going to start literally at from 1 to 5, and we ask that the vendors show up a little earlier, just kind of set up, you know, and things like that. But little you guys at 1 o'clock, like from 1 to 5. A nice time to mix and mingle, get you some nice little goodies, see each other, check in on each other, and share. Please share the flyer. And I'm sorry I haven't been like sharing it like I should, but by me working hard literally every single day and just doing so much, and then life is life, and it's like you'll try to, you know, say that you're going to do something, you really be having a heart and mind to do it, but because so much of stuff happens, you can easily get just seeing the stuff that's happening on the news, just trying to keep up with your family, keeping up with doing your daily responsibility. It's a lot, you know? So with that being said, but I just want to see Lottie Dottie in everybody's face. I really do. And then, like I said, you can, like, these are like baskets that we like put together just out of our heart and mind, you know, and stuff like that. Everything that we're doing is just like out of love. And we love what we do, even though it's not like something this is not a club. Let's be clear. Let me be careful of what I say. This is not a club that no one signs up for. But if we had an opportunity to where as though like we fight, and it's like, and a big shout out to all the mothers and fathers and everybody that's fighting for accountability, just not giving up, because you don't understand. Let me be clear. You don't understand how, unless you go through this, you're not going to understand that when your loved one is snatched away, or if you're brutalized, right? You don't even have to be, because a lot of people that suffer from this are not, like, they don't die, you know, and things like that. But to go through something hard, to be traumatized, right? That takes from your daily life, your space, and all that stuff. That takes from you trusting people and all that stuff. And it's hurtful. And we won't wish this on anyone. But if you're able to actually come back from all the pain and trauma and all the daily being targeted and just all the awful stuff that comes along with this, like I said, it's heartbreaking, but it's still worth it to me. I do it literally because I don't want to see another family go through this. And when I see people like my sister LaToya do it, you know, for her son Xavier, her one and only child, the love of her life, the joy of her being, her soul, to endure the pain that they do. This stuff breaks up relationships, y'all. It's real. Like, I remember, like, literally when I came to this, like, I didn't sign up for it, but when this happened to my big brother, like, I done seen so many people in the fight, like, you know, families split up, I done seen so much. And like, literally, even the day that we're having our event, there's another event that's happening as well, and that's with Mr. Lee. He was a freedom fighter. He passed away, you know, and he's having his celebration of life, as he should, you know, and sponsored by the People Powers Assembly. And if anybody can go out to show love for him, you know, please do, because he was there for Lottie Dottie and everybody. And my thing is, life is too short, no matter how long you live it. I just say live it to the fullest ability, enjoy it, and do whatever you could do to be a difference maker. Whatever that is, be a difference maker. Because it's like I said, it's easy to spread hate. But where love is, love makes the difference. Love breaks through. Love is like, oh my gosh, like it is so needed. And everybody need love. I don't know anyone that don't care how stubborn or how mean or angry. And one thing that we know to be certain is hurt people, right? And we know this. But at the same time, heal people. You know, when you're trying to go through hurt, when you go through hurtful things, you know, and if it don't turn you better, you know, and you start to love and you treat people the way you want to be treated. And I talk to my students every day. They already know the golden rule. Treat people the way you want to be treated. You know, and if we all as human beings, as grown-ups, live and do that same exact thing that we teach our children to do. Treat people the way you want to be treated. This world wouldn't be as half as evil as it is. And the world's not evil, it's the people in it. But I just say we doing a good event, like I said, and I want to see people, you know, and we know that this weather has been crazy. Like we still riding around and seeing like some people can maneuver through it, still like snow and build up from the storm. Or we still gonna ride through that. Nothing's gonna stop us from going unless we have literally another blizzard where as though, because we would never want somebody to like get in a car wreck or something like that. Like, you know, coming to our event, but we heard it's going to be a dust and a snow, but that's not going to stop us. But like, if it's real treacherous weather, then we'll let you guys know. But for us, what we can see, this thing is going to happen. And I just need y'all, even if you can't make it, share it with a friend, encourage somebody to come out. And if you still want to be a vendor or you know somebody, just come out, sign up. And then we, like I said, this is a test run for real, because we don't know. But we do know that everybody that's coming together is coming in love, and we coming in peace, y'all. And that's what we believe in, love and peace. Because like I said, it's so easy to get caught up in the daily foolishness, but it's hard to do right. Like I said, it's like, and I'll be teaching my students that one time it's so easy to get in trouble, but it's so hard to get out of trouble. Like you could take 2 seconds literally to get in trouble and take a decade or more to get out of it. You know what I mean? All I'm trying to say is just come with love, come with respect, come with peace. These are our memories, you know? When we do this thing on Saturday, this is a memory. This is something that we're gonna do, and we're doing it out of love and respect. And I always be so like surprised because at different events, it like people always turn up no matter what, no matter how late, they always turn up. So I'm expecting that we turn up and you know, just come on out, have a good time, support the vendors, support you know, the bake sale or whatever. Just support us, y'all. That's all we asking for, is a little support. Everybody needs a little help. And I'm gonna ask that if Hillary can read or someone can read the flyer, because I'm trying to find it.
It's all right. I've got it, Tawanda.
Location. Do you have it?
Yeah, I do. I can read it. I also want to apologize
Awesome,
because
please.
there was a problem with the comments showing up, but I think I fixed it. There's also something at the bottom that says follow us on Twitter. That's a restream thing, which is the place that we're streaming this from. I'm not sure why that's there. Sorry, folks, for that distraction going on the bottom of the screen. But I can read the flyer that we have for this Saturday. It's February 7th. The West Coalition presents pre-Valentine's fundraiser, bake sale, gift baskets, and vendors. It's from 1 to 5 p.m. at 327 Park Avenue in Baltimore. And it's a fundraiser, as Tawanda said, for the upcoming art exhibit at the Peel that we're working on, that will have Tyrone's artwork, as well as other artist artwork, and an exhibit about the struggle. So we'd love to see everybody there. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check. Mic check. Thank you
Mic
for
check.
sharing it. Like, I appreciate it. I'm sorry, you were saying something, Uncle Bill?
I wasn't, but I can.
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. Well, about the bake sale for Saturday, I know quite a few people are going to be baking. Tomorrow I'll be making a cheesecake. So come on down and get a slice. On another topic, I want to mention that I posted on Facebook about the sentence given to the killer cop who took the life of Sonia Massey. He was given 20 years. It should have been much more, but he was given 20 years. For those that don't remember, Sonia Massey was the woman that had the pot of water and the cops told her to put it down. And then seconds later, the cop killed her, as a vicious, racist, mad dog cop. But anyway, I posted that on Facebook, and some of you know Dorothy Elliott. Her friendly name is Dot Elliott. She responded and said, "About time. One out of thousands and thousands of impacted families who don't see justice for their loved ones." And then I responded back to Dot, exactly. It's the exception that proves the rule that police violence is built into the system. And personally, I said, I hope you're well. So Dorothy's son, Archie, was handcuffed with his hands behind his back decades ago, I think about 30 years ago, and was shot many times, I think 21 times. His father was a judge, and racism supersedes all that and carries out horrendous, murderous injustice, regardless of the family's background. So I just wanted to share Dorothy Elliott's comment on the sentence for the cop that killed Sonia Massey, excuse me. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Awesome. So thank you, Uncle Bill, definitely for sharing that, and thank you, Hillary, for sharing, the flyer and things like that. But again, I just ask everybody that you just come out. Like if you come out, even if you can't stay the whole entire time, if you come out maybe for half an hour, 20 minutes, or even if you just pull up and say, you know what, let me just run and hit a couple tables and grab a couple baked goods and things like that, that would be awesome. So definitely looking for the support, and I'm just real excited for this event. And this will not be the last, because we're gonna be doing more events like this. So again, just hoping that I see everybody, and I want to check in Hillary to see if we have any questions or comments. Mic check.
Mic check. Yeah, we do just have a couple. I don't think you have to go through all the ones about the problem with the with the comments, but Leah is here to read the ones that we do have.
Yes.
Awesome.
Starting off from Linda, mic check. Adina as well, mic check. Adina mentioned that for our fundraiser event on Saturday, we have space for 3 more vendors. Dan said love is the answer. Let me see. Yep, 3 vending spaces left. And again, the information is this Saturday on the 7th, 1 to 5 p.m. at 327 Park Avenue. Fundraiser featuring silent auction of gift baskets, bake sale, and vendors. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Awesome. And I wanted to see if Brother Brian wanted to add on to the conversation. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check. It's just always a privilege to be here, Twanda, and to be part of this struggle with you and Bill and Hillary and so many people who are so great. And I really I do hope that people will come out to this fundraiser because it's targeting doing even better work and trying to step up the West Coalition's work by a whole nother level. We're not just raising funds for a field trip or something. We're trying to really raise the level of awareness of Tyrone and of all the victims. And so, this fundraiser is a first step in that direction. So I hope that people will come out and support it. And that's the main thing I have to say this week.
Awesome. Mic check. Thank you for sharing that. So again, now I don't want to keep sounding like a repeated broken record, but again, I'm real excited to see everybody on a Saturday, not on a West Wednesday, but on a Saturday, just coming out and supporting community work. It's not even just the West Coalition that you are supporting, because when we give these vending tables out and just pretty much, and anybody listening, we're only charging $25 for setup, and that's a steal alone. Like, I already know that, like, if you do this type of vending stuff, you already know, like, the cost of setup and all that stuff is like, oh my goodness, like, what? So yeah, so just take advantage. Like, come on out, we have 3 more slots. Come on out, take advantage of those 3 more slots. Like, reach out to us, send us something. You want to send a comment and a question and saying, hey, I'm interested. Or if you know somebody that does different things, yeah, come on out. And then this Black History Month, y'all, like, where my entrepreneurs at? Like, yeah. So we definitely want this to be big and, you know, and more so good in a loving way. And I just wanted to let you guys know that I love you all. Like, I just want to just thank y'all for all the support from over all of the years that we've been boots on the ground and things like that. So big shout out. And yeah, so I know I'm looking now at the time. It is late, it's 9:04. So I'm gonna check in real quick again and see if we have any additional questions or comments. And then we're gonna say our statement, and then unfortunately we're gonna go into the sad list and we can wrap up. Mic check.
Tawanda, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Since the fundraiser on Saturday is to enable us to put together a museum show of Tyrone's artwork, I was wondering if you might want to tell the story about the art club.
Oh, sure. Yeah, so literally just growing up with my big brother, and he had the talent of always, like, you know, wanting to do his art, because he literally started off, I'll never forget, like, he loved, like, my one of my uncles would always buy him, and plus my mom, but he loved comic books, and he would get like the Marvel Spider-Man comic books and things like that. And literally when he got his first comic book, he literally drew a picture. I might want to say it might have been a Spider-Man, but he drew one of the characters out of the book. And my family noticed how good it was. They was like how detailed it was. And that's the type of stuff literally that I see in my classroom, because I have a little boy in my class name. I'm sorry, a little boy in my class name. I have a little boy in my class now. And he is so detailed. So like I see Tyrone and him in all his artwork. And like it's like, because with this little boy, and then I'll talk about the art club, but literally I was teaching my students and telling them about Groundhog's Day and telling them how we had the 6 weeks left for winter and whatnot. And he was just like so amazed when he heard. So whatever he hears and he gets intrigued about it, he wants to draw. And that's just like one of his gifts. So literally he had drew a picture, well, he drew a whole book of the Groundhog Day and everything that I told him about it. And I told him about how the people were sad and they walked away from the march and they were upset. And anybody know me that when I tell my class a story, I'm always like, like being like all over, like dramatized and things of that nature. So I'm all like being extra. So I was just like, and all the people, they were all upset. They was waiting to see if the shadow was going to show or not. And then once they saw the shadow, everybody got all sad and they was upset. And they walked away literally like with tears in their eyes. And they were just so sad because they're ready for spring. And so he literally came to school today and he had me his homework. And he's like, and his homework was non-related to this, and his homework wasn't even due yet. But he's like, hey, Mr. Warren, I put my homework in the homework basket. And he was like, and also I drew a book about groundhogs. And I was like, oh, wow. I said, well, that's what we're going to talk about this morning in our first morning learning session. and literally he was detailed. And then at the end, he had these, like, he literally drew like about 6 people, and they had tears in their eyes, and they was walking. And he drew the man that saw the shadow. He drew the hat on the man head, like so detailed. It just like I almost literally had tears in my eyes, because every time I see his beautiful artworks, it makes me think about Tyrone. So back to the art club. So once we discovered, or my family discovered, that my brother Tyrone had this great skill of drawing, you know, the cartoon characters and stuff like that, he started an art club. And like my aunties and all that, my mother and them, they would buy him like sketchboards, paper, and all this stuff. And so he would set it up like in his room. He had like a whole little table and chair, and then it was made like I was like the only girl like there. So he would like call all my cousins and them, and we would all come. And we would be sitting down at the table. And so we're set up at the table. We're sitting there. So he'll look at each and every last one of them. So he'd be like, say your first name. So whatever he tell us to do, because he was the leader of the art club, we had to do it. So he'd be like, say your first name. So he'd run around the table. So everybody saying their first name. Like he started with my cousin Neil. My cousin Neil was like, I'm Neil. And then he's like, okay. And then my cousin Tavon was like, I'm Tavon. But my cousin Tavon, we call him Sheiky. So cousin Tavon was like, I'm Sheiky or whatever. So then it got to me, and he was like, say your name. So I'm like, Tawanda. He was like, Tawanda what? And I was like, Tawanda Jones. So I'm thinking, because normally when he would recruit someone to be in the club, once he asks you your whole entire name, that means you had a better chance. So by then, like, I was the only one that wasn't in the club. So that's why my other cousins and them didn't already have to say their whole first and last name and all that stuff. So when I said I had this big smile on my face. So he was like, okay. He was like, welcome to the club. He's like, say your whole name again. And I was like, Tawanda Jones. He was like, sorry, you kicked out the club. And I'm like, what? And I was like, what? Like, why would you kick me out? And he was just like, no, because you're the only girl, but I'm going to teach you how to draw. You can have a girl club. And he just was so protective over me. And he's like, you know, and I'm like, why can't I draw? I'm a girl. I can draw. You can teach it, but I'm a teacher. But he really taught me, like, how to, like, you know, draw the lines and how to sketch, like how to literally move the pencil. And he's like, you gotta have your pencil sharp in a certain kind of way. You gotta like pull a pencil this way, because he's like, you're scribbling. You have to really just like, and he really taught me how to sketch and things like that. So, and yeah, and thank you, Uncle Bill, because you just took me back. He took me back to the good days. So
I enjoyed
with
hearing
that
it again.
yes, no, and then I was like, but he asked you your first and last name, and then he would say you in or you kicked out, and I always would get kicked out. He'd be like, you are, and I'd be sitting there, kicked out, and I'm like, oh man, then they start laughing, I'd be ready to cry, like I'd be all in my feelings, and he'd be like, little sis, don't cry. He was like, well, one day I'll let you in there, but we're gonna start a girls' art club for you, and I'm like, oh my goodness, but yeah, but he definitely taught me how to draw. He had that love, and then it literally went from him literally drawing those cartoon characters to actually drawing like my grandmother and my mother and just like all of our family members, including me. And then he got better over the years. Of course, when he grew up, he kept that passion and he loved it. Like, and we always envisioned, my family wanted to open up an art gallery for him. And his biggest thing he always wanted to do, he said he wanted to be like do a mural. He was like, oh my God, do you know how happy I would be if somebody, and I was literally like, before he was took from me and my family, I literally was trying to find some place or somebody that did murals and like to try to connect them to, because I knew once they saw it. And then the literally part, he would like just like see like you could just show him a picture, and literally within 24, no more than 48 hours, he would draw that whole picture. And I started getting him to draw like people on my job, like teachers. I remember he drew a beautiful picture of one of my friends, and it was her grandchildren or whatever. He drew her, I think it was her children. I'm sorry. It was Mr. Repia's, I think it was her grandson, I believe. Yeah, it was her grandson. He drew a picture of her grandson. It was so cute. And I was like, and then from that, he was getting excited. He was like, wow. He was like, you really get me work. But I knew that, you know, I was trying to do much more than that, but so me seeing that happen, or like, oh my God. And then like when we did the thing, and I remember when we had did that art show and whatnot, that made me feel so good, and I cried, and you couldn't tell me I wasn't at an art gallery with his artwork and stuff. So yeah. But y'all gonna make me cry. I'm trying not to be emotional, so I'm gonna leave it right there. But I'm gonna check in to see if we have any more questions or comments, and I'm gonna read our statement. And then we're gonna wrap up. And we're gonna say the police brutality list, the community violence list, and unfortunately the police brutality list, and we will wrap up. And hopefully, I will see you guys on Saturday in person. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Yes, Linda commented, good news for Chantal, a former UMBC student captured by the Army of the Philippines is now back in the U.S. And Adina said, that's great news, Linda. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Linda, for saying that. That is great news. Awesome. That is so great news. And that's what I'm talking about. Good news. We here for good news. Good news. So tired of hearing the blues. We need good news. So on that note, I'm glad that you guys tuned in. And again, hopefully we see you guys. And if you aren't able to show up or whatever the case may be, we will find out another way that you can do it. And I forgot how. And I wish Hillary, do you remember how we was gonna have like the silent auction, and then one where as though like it would be, or we talk about how it was going to be both of them, like where as though people that couldn't be there, if they could do something. Did we ever get that far?
I'm not sure. I think what we're going to do is people will have the silent auction, and we'll have a time that we're going to read the names. If somebody can't stick around, we can talk to them about how to handle that at the event, I think.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. Well, and even if you can't be a part of it, you can always donate, and we will definitely let you know how after Saturday. But again, I would love to see you come past and come and everybody talk about Uncle Bill a cheesecake, and then I just got real excited. I can't wait because I'm definitely buying a piece of my sister cake because I don't eat cheesecake, but I can't wait. When I said, I was like, yes, because at first she was going to make Dana was going to make cupcakes, but then she changed it to a cake, and I'm like, yes. I was like, yes. And let me stop talking about sweets, because now y'all going to make me try to go downstairs and find like a cupcake or something in the cup. So y'all know I'm greedy. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to go. Unfortunately, I have to go into some sad times because we don't get no type of joy or thrill out of reading any sad list. So I'm going to say our statement, and then we're going to just take it from there. All right, so it is the mission of the West Coalition not to just fight for accountability for my big brother Tyrone West, but literally for all the victims of police brutality and unaliving. We fight not only for that, for police brutality, but community violence, because we know that it's hand in hand. But the only difference from police brutality and community violence is mostly all the times when it's an officer involved into it, they are never held accountable. It's like you don't really get accountability. So that's why when Uncle Bill was sharing about Sonia Massey's killer, and getting the 20 years, even though we know that wasn't enough, but getting something was better than getting nothing, But it's just sad and unfortunate. But these lists that we're going to share tonight, unfortunately, we don't have any details to tell you. We don't know what happened, who was involved. All we know that it was a victim that did not make it. And I believe that there is, that nobody deserves to be brutally unalived, brutally attacked. I don't believe in it. Like, I believe in, if you want to sit down and talk about it, let's talk about it. And not just me, the West Coalition. We believe in mediation. We believe that if all the parties can sit down together at the table to try to alleviate the problem by talking about it, then guess what? That means all the parties can walk away, rather if they agree or disagree. You know, everybody's safe, you know, everybody's walking away. And that's what we believe in, you know, and we're not here to traumatize somebody. So if you hanging on to the very end and hearing names might traumatize you, this might be the time that if you want to go off and step away from the screen for a little bit, we please urge you to do so. But yeah, so we're gonna say these names, and we get both of our names, one from a local news outlet and one from a national news outlet. But unfortunately, we get no details. Like I said, we get no details of what happened, who did it, why it happened. All we know is that a family lost one of their loved ones. Because guess what? At the end of the day, we can all agree that when somebody is taken in a horrible way, somebody family is sad, somebody community is sad, somebody is heartbroken. And again, nobody deserves to be brutally unalive. And it just like breaks my heart to think about, you know, all the stuff that happened, especially with African American people, because again, this is our month, even though it's not long enough. But I celebrate being in a Black body every day. I don't just wait to February and just be like, oh, I want to talk about my people and highlight my people. We carry our people. I carry my people on my back every day, all day long. You know, so with that being said, I'm gonna look at the time, and we're gonna so the time now, it is 9:19, and we will be back at 9:21. 9:21, we will be back. So if you're interested in a prayer, please at this time say your prayers. If you're interested in sending positive love and healing, please do that. But just show respect. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Thank you guys for standing by it. Sending your prayers, your love, your positive thought, your positive energy. I'm going to turn it over to Brother Brian. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check. Thank you, Twanda. I'm my part in this is never fun. I'm going to read the list of people who died by homicide in Baltimore in the past couple of weeks. Some of these are names from that we haven't had, that from older deaths that we haven't had until just now. But as always, you know, and as Twanda said, you know, each of these people is a universe unto themselves. Each of these people had, you know, had mothers and fathers, mother and father, sisters, brothers, friends, neighbors, co-workers. They were all important to so many people, their wives, their husbands, their children. And so we lift their names up, you know, in memory of them, in solidarity with their families, and as a way of dedicating ourselves to the fight that we are in. So I just ask you to echo these three names back. Jamel Dixon.
Jamel
Dixon.
Deshawn Johnson.
Deshawn
Johnson.
Michael Ramsour.
Michael
Ramsour.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Brian. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check. With our list of those taken from us by the police, we have 10 names to uphold currently. This goes back to the 28th of last month, to the 31st of last month. I'll be reading the first 5 names, and then Bill will continue with the second half of the list. Starting off on January 28th in Williamsburg, Virginia, a 33-year-old male whose name was withheld by the police.
Cell
blocks for killer cops. Ashe.
On the 28th in Knoxville, Tennessee, a 46-year-old male, Angel Melendez.
Angel Melendez.
Again, on the 28th in Myerstown, Pennsylvania, 47-year-old male, John McDowell.
John McDowell.
Again, on the 28th in Santa Ana, California, an 18-year-old male, Victor Lopez.
Victor
Lopez.
On the 29th of January in Sacramento, California, a male whose age is unknown and whose name was withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer cops. Ashe.
And I'll pass the rest of the list to Bill.
Thank you. Killed by police in Tennessee in Mount Juliet on the 30th of last month. This was a man whose age has not been provided and whose name has been withheld by the police.
Cell blocks for killer cops.
Ashe.
In Fort Mill, South Carolina, also on the 30th of last month, the man who was 22 years old, Alan Topete Guevara. Let me say it once more. Alan Topete Guevara.
Alan Topete Guevara.
All right. And then that takes us to Cloa, Oklahoma. Again on the 30th, a man who was 35 years old, Brandon Potts.
Brandon
Potts.
In Wichita Falls, Texas, on the 31st, a man who was 36 years old, Joel Norton.
Joel Norton.
And the last victim of police murder, who we'll be honoring and upholding this evening, was living in Frankfort, Kentucky, killed on the 31st of last month, 56 years old, Brian Radford.
Radford.
Thanks everyone for helping to uphold these names of the most recent victims. Mic check.
Mic check. Awesome. So again, I want to thank everybody. Thank you, Khalil. Thank you to our Queen Hillary. Thank you, Uncle Bill. Thanks everybody for their comments. And we're really looking forward to Saturday. I want to see Lottie Dottie and everybody. Like, come on out. Come on out. Let's have a good time. Come on out. Remember, live to love to live.
Tawanda?
I love you. Yes.
There was just one more comment. If it's okay, I'll read that.
Sure.
This from AC Brit. It says, we're going to be having West Wednesday t-shirts coming soon. That will be our main fundraiser. That's
Awesome. Yes, and I'm glad she shared that because, yes, that is our goal. And with these donations, we're going to make that happen. So please come on out. A ticket, fantastic. Come on out, get some good, yummy baked goods, do some vending, and get one of these good gift baskets. Live to love to live. I love you all. We will see you this Saturday. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
And Mr. West begging for his life, and Mr. Salam begging for his child to be excluded and comforted from what was taking place. Not for himself, but for his 3-year-old child.
Case number 4, Adina Britt and family, September 10th, 2015.
My name is Adina Britt, and I wanted to submit a 30-second testimonial that Jorge Omar Bernardez Ruiz is one of the 11 terrorists that came into my house performing a home invasion in September 2015, terrorizing my entire family and even holding my 12-year-old son at gunpoint. He needs to be stopped.
Case number 5, unidentified arrestee, assaulted in 2016.
I suggest you back the fuck up. No, why you
Again, this video did not surface until the summer of 2020. Case 6, Thomas McCullough, May 2016 and February 2017.
I heard my front door coming off the hinges like it exploded.
Thomas McCullough says it happened twice. In May 2016 and February 2017, Baltimore City Police burst through his green front door and raided his Pimlico home.
They said, police. They come up, shotguns, guns.
He says officers ransacked the place, looking for drugs, money, and weapons. He took pictures of the damage he says they left behind.
Tell us where the drugs are, the scales, the guns, and the large amounts of money.
Nothing was found. Now he's suing police, claiming officers, including a former member of the Gun Trace Task Force, frightened him, his wife, and father-in-law when the officers conducted what his suit calls an illegal search of his home. The owner of the house tells 11 News after the second raid, he had to replace the front door. McCullough and his attorney say they want Baltimore police held accountable.
There is a colossal breach of trust.
And McCullough tells us following both raids, no one was arrested or charged.
This all begs the question, when will Baltimore City State's attorney see the prosecution of Bernardez Ruiz as warranted?
They were the stopping officers in these so-called jump-out cars, unmarked and so forth, that stopped both the West vehicle and the Salam vehicle without probable cause. And these officers are the ones that also were joined by others, but they are the ones who initiated the stops, pulled both men out of the vehicles, and commenced the vicious activity that was thrust upon them.
And the officer Ruiz that started this attack is still working and working with promotions. He is now sergeant. But the fact that this repeat violent offender had a history leading up to my brother. There was Darrell Harris, there was James Green, Joseph Green, Abdul Salam. No one family deserves to be brutally murdered or brutalized by this repeat violent offender Ruiz. It is time we take action. The time is now.
Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardez Ruiz is a repeat violent offender. Based on these accounts, in accordance with the law, we, the West Coalition, call for him to be fired, prosecuted, and incarcerated.
We're more than hashtags and body bags. We're more than being 6 feet in the dirt and pictures and buttons on t-shirts. Our lives matter.
For the safety of our city, the prevention of further harm, and the justice for these families, we see no other option.
And again, I'll say, the time is now.